What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. It is time for Power Tour, and my Monte Carlo has sprung a leak. I've got it up on the lift. We're going to check it out here in just a second. But I noticed when I was doing 115 miles an hour the other day, shaking it down in Mexico, of course, it's really important to shake a car down. I learned that, Santa. Welcome to the channel there, Santa's Workshop.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go check him out if you don't know who he is. But if you remember, 2 years ago, we built a Chevy.
Yes.
And the engine went in, how long before Power Tour was it, would you say?
24 hours.
24.
It was like the day before.
And I'm here to tell you, that didn't go well, ladies and gentlemen. We had fuel injection problems. We had control module problems. We had a slew of problems out of that car. And the reason for it was not shaking it down ahead of time.
Any fuel injection that it has to learn,
Mm-hmm.
they're self-learning, but you just don't want to hit the interstate immediately after.
We were burning spark plug wires left and right. I was melting spark plug wires like crazy, so we had to buy some DEI. I think the boots, the ceramic or whatever boots that go over them to help keep from melting those. That we ran into that as soon as we hit the highway.
Right.
As soon as we got on the highway, misfiring like crazy. I was like, great. And then the control module for the fuel injection, this little module died, and it was wreaking havoc on the entire fuel system. Thankfully, Holly was at the first check-in,
right.
and they just threw another one to me. They're like, I guarantee you this is the problem. Take this and plug it in. And sure enough, fix the problem. Holly's been real good to me.
Good.
So this year, we decided to do things a little bit differently. This year, I have probably put, since all of this has been done to it, I've probably put close to 1,000 miles on this thing. And there are skid marks all over that I know specifically are mine. Mm-hmm. And they just go on forever. Until you let off the gas, it will rip the tire off.
There's a couple that I did.
And I've got one tire that has a lot less tread than the rest. And that is because I thought for sure this was a posi track. It's not. So there's one tire. All right. And here's the other. There is way more tread on this tire. And if you look at the exhaust pipe, this is a giveaway too. There's a bunch of rubber splattered all over the exhaust pipe. If you go to the other exhaust pipe, there's very little. This wheel does spin, but it does not spin in conjunction with the other wheel. It kind of goes when it wants and doesn't. Now, we recently got this back from Mako. Fresh paint job, fresh stripes. Santa is changing several of the light bulbs under here, and we're going to find a leaky transmission. Monkey Wrench Mike is here. He's not feeling well today. I kind of don't want him to really be out here having to work, but he insists that he wants to work anyway. I think he needs to go home and rest up some. But obviously, we have trans fluid all over the exhaust. Very much. We have trans fluid on the mount, and we have trans fluid dripping off of here, and it is just wet under here. Santa and I looked this over, and we've concluded that it's probably the gasket. It looks like the gasket is leaking, guys. It's an old school cork gasket. That is not what I would have personally used. I prefer the rubber over the cork any day of the week. So we're gonna have to we're gonna drop this pan. You guys may remember this car doesn't have park.
Right.
This car has never had park. Never. Since we put it together, it's never had park.
That's the Fred Flintstone part.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to get park fixed. I contacted Monster Transmissions. They said to take the pan off and see if the rod had fallen off. There's a rod in there and apparently a couple little nuts or something that hold it on. They said check those because there's a possibility they've had it happen before during shipping where it just, whatever, it comes off. If that's not it, they said it requires a transmission removal because the rest of it's like behind the pump housing or something.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a transmission guy.
Well, that rod goes back to just, it's a lever with teeth on it.
Yeah.
So when you put it in park, it throws it up, and that's your parking gear. It
right.
holds it. It's called a parking pawl.
Pawl, yeah.
And very simple operation.
Yeah.
But if it's not to where we can get to it,
yeah, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Thankfully, I have brand new brakes all the way around. New drums, new shoes, new hardware, everything for the back. The parking brake works great. I hate relying on a parking brake, but I will make certain that during Power Tour, if we don't have park, I'll park at least on a level surface. And if not, I want to try to park with the front end facing a little bit down, maybe onto a curb.
Or you can take your chalk blocks.
I'm not doing that. Would be so embarrassing.
Oh, no.
I'm not, no. We got Monkey Wrench Mike. I was just talking about you, Mike.
You mentioned parking blocks.
Monkey Wrench Mike is here.
I put the parking.
You're the parking block guy. And he's
Bring your pillow and blanket. You're going to sleep under the tire.
Go check out Monkey Wrench Mike if you haven't. I'm going to put a link to him and, of course, the Santa's Workshop down below. Thank you to both these guys for coming out here because it is last minute. It is crunch time. Today is the last day to get this car finished. The shakedown is done. It runs and drives great. We need to take off the transmission pan and see if the parking rod has fallen. Hopefully that's the case. We need to install the, as pretty as this flywheel and this Thor torque converter is, I thought I saw, it fooled me like it did you.
Oh?
A few runs in the paint. Is that what got your attention?
Yeah, nice and pretty, shiny looking, and you see that looks like a little run.
Yeah, I saw these runs up here. I was like, oh no, the seal's leaking. It's not. It's runs in the paint. Thank God. I just freaked out. Anyway, we're going to drop the pan. We're going to check that. We may go back with a new pan gasket, although I don't have one, so I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to find one. Up here, we've got a 4-pin connector right there. We are going to install an overdrive. It's really not overdrive, it's a torque converter lockup switch. And we're going to utilize, in the back here, right up here, you guys aren't going to be able to see. Yeah, you can. Right there. That plug we're going to take out, and we're going to install a pressure switch. And when the transmission enters into overdrive, it will put pressure onto the switch, which activates it and tells the torque converter to go into lockup. This should save us at a minimum 10% of whatever RPMs we're running. So generally speaking, 75, 80 miles an hour, I'm running around 3,000, 2,800 to 3,000 RPM. We should be able to go from 3,000 to about 2,700, maybe even less. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but 300 RPM when you're driving thousands of miles is a lot. Guys, that's a lot of fuel that we can save. Aside from that, nothing is leaking. We already got under here. We checked everything. I already greased up the suspension. Everything under here looks great. Just a little bit of a leak from the transmission. Then we've got a new stereo that we got to install. We got sun visors that we have to install. That's a necessity when you're driving into the sun all day. Definitely want to get those sun visors installed, to get the radio installed. And is that it? That can't, tighten up the alternator because it's squealing. I think that's it.
You had a whole long list in the car. And now
no. Remember when I said I should have wrote it down?
We should have wrote it down.
Now I know. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something.
Tighten up the alternator.
Yeah.
Transmission.
Yep. Overdrive.
Sun visors, radio.
And light bulbs.
Light bulbs. That's it.
I think that's it.
That's it.
That's all we remember? That's
right. And then come Sunday, when it's time to leave, I'm going to be like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to
put oil in the rear end. Oh, my gosh.
You know, it's been this car has been the longest project I've ever had.
Yeah.
I've never had a project this long, and I was just thinking the other day, did I ever change the rear diff fluid, or is this?
I believe you did.
I did. I'm certain that I don't remember it very well, but I'm certain that I made a huge mess, just like with every one of them on the floor. I was really pissed off, and what I did is I used a pump and I sucked it out.
Right.
And then I put the fresh fluid back in because I've got some from Motul on the shelf, and I put the good Motul in it. So I know that I did. I just don't really remember doing it. I know I did it, though. All right, guys, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drain this. I hate to dump it and waste it, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to waste it. I've got 3 quarts over there. Monster Transmission said that it takes Dex 6. So if I don't have enough, I can always run to the nearest Wally World and go grab some more. All right, guys, let's get this pan off and let's see what's going on inside. All right, are we all ready to see what comes out of this? I'm wondering if it's gonna splatter on the exhaust and then pour. That's what I'm expecting. Let's see what the fluid looks like after about 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 miles. Is it gonna be bright pink? Or are we gonna have a bunch of burnt clutch material in here from all the burnouts I've been doing?
Ooh.
Well,
That's what it looked like going in.
Yeah, I mean it's bright pink. Ooh. Uh-oh. There's a ball of metal.
That's just typical.
That's clutch material.
Yeah, that's just typical.
It's brand new. This is all. I know. I wasn't even worried. But I already know people are gonna be like, oh my God. Yeah, guys, it is brand new. Meaning all those clutches are getting broken in. You're getting a lot of material, not breaking off, but coming off of it.
It's got to. It's got to mesh together.
Yep, everything's broken in. Not broken.
Very
broken
well.
in. Yeah, it's
very broken.
I love that magnetic tip.
Oh yes.
Like that is honestly awesome. Look how clean it is. Looks brand new again. Oh, we're pouring all over the floor. Dang it. I'm already making a mess. Last thing Santa said was try not to get this all over your hands because it smells awful. We got it all over our hands, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and on the floor as well. All right, we're gonna let this finish draining. How nice is it to have a drain plug on your Isn't that great? Why don't all cars come with drain pans or drain plugs?
Because they don't want you doing it yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Change the reason I'm not saving this because I figured with that metal in there, and I knew there would be metal in it, I figured you might as well put fresh fluid in it.
Yeah.
You know, if I do keep this car, and I am considering it, everybody's probably laughing right now, but I am considering keeping this car. This would be one just like the Viper, where like yearly, every year I change every fluid.
Yeah.
Just because, just as preventative maintenance, every year change all your fluids, one and done. All right, moment of truth. Is it still got a lot in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch in here.
Oh, the drain plug only does a certain portion of it. That's interesting.
Look at that. This whole thing is
That whole thing stays full.
Wow.
Mike, how come every time you do something with fluid, it ends up with a mess all over the floor?
What I'm best at.
How's it looking there? Everything looks clean and good?
I mean, there is a little
A little, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
Perfect. And everything up here? Uh-oh. Well, there's the parking thing that he was talking about, and it's disconnected, I think.
Really?
I do. This is the parking rod that he was talking about, I think. It's not connected to anything. Surely that's supposed to go somewhere, right? And then here's the parking pawl right here. This is what puts it into, shifts gears and into park. Mm-hmm. I just don't know exactly how it all works.
Is that a 16-bolt pan, Randy?
Here, we can count.
Don't know. All right, so I'm going to throw a couple pictures up here for you guys real quick, and maybe you can spot what the problem is. Yeah. I noticed, Santa noticed very quickly that, oh, did you get trans fluid all over you?
Everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it ran up into my armpit, too.
No. Oh, that stuff stinks.
Yes, it does.
Like this. Santa looked up in there and he's like, wait a minute. This ain't right.
This don't look right.
And here's the thing, like I know because I've already had people tell me Monster Transmissions, you know, they've had some negative things to say about them. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure those people are going to come back and say, see, I told you so. Can you tell them how long it took to fix that problem once the pan was off?
Oh, once I realized what it was, less than 5 minutes.
Okay. So
it was,
what parts did you have to buy? Nothing.
Pan gasket.
Okay, yeah, pan gasket, sure. And we could probably reuse that one if we want it to continue leaking. But we'll put a rubber it was literally those two bolts, guys. They had the little bracket was misaligned. It didn't get lined up, and it was actually stuck on the parking pawl itself.
Yes.
So all you had to do is take those out, put the bracket on properly, and tighten it down.
Well, what got to me was, you know, the bolts were that far away from being tightened up.
Yes, they were very loose.
And I'm sitting there looking at that going, somebody just threw this thing on and didn't pay attention to what was going on. And, you know, take the bracket down, get the pawl where it needs to be.
And do we have park now?
Yes.
We do. We just tested. I literally climbed a ladder all the way, and then I hit my head on the light. But yeah, we tested out. We have park. I can't believe it. We have park. And Monster Transmissions, I contacted them about the issue, obviously, and they told me the same thing. They said most likely, though they thought the bolts fell out and were probably laying in the pan, and that rod had just dropped down.
Right.
So they were close.
They were close.
They were very close. It was a slight misalignment. Mistakes happen.
Right.
And it's also important to remember that Monster Transmission sponsored us a $5,000 transmission. This is not a joke. Like, this transmission is the business.
Well, I mean, you can see the clutches up in there. They
Yes.
use some nice, hefty clutches.
Yeah, they're carbon fiber, if I remember right. Some kind of carbon fiber or something like that. It's maybe it's not carbon fiber. I don't remember. I've got the list at home. They gave me the build list.
Oh, man.
And it is a stout transmission, guys. And I'm here to tell you, after riding it pretty hard, to see that there's nothing in the pan, guys. It's clean. The little magnet had a tiny little ball.
Yep.
It's solid.
And the thing about it is you're going to get that every time you change the
Yes.
filter.
Which I am going to do, by the way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I got to go to the hub and I got to pick up a new filter and a new rubber pan gasket for this. So that's great. Having park is a big deal. Next is to wire up the overdrive.
Yes.
Which should be super simple. I've got the kit.
The kit's right here.
Yeah, it's in a bag.
Did you? Yeah, I opened the bag and I was looking at it. Did you get any instructions with this, so we know what wire goes where?
Instructions? For
Yes.
what? It doesn't matter what wire goes where. You just hook them all up to whatever you want to hook them up to. Right? I probably had instructions. I think I threw them away.
Of course.
I don't tend to read instructions. Let's see. So, yeah, see, look. Here we go. Super simple. This is a ground.
Okay, that's your ground.
So,
No.
oh yeah, that's not. You know what? Let me see if I can find the instructions.
Yeah, that might be smart.
That might help. All right, Santa and I have been working tirelessly,
Yes.
and we got a lot accomplished.
I don't know about tirelessly. I'm pretty tired.
So Santa got the sun visor installed on the passenger side,
Yes.
which I thought that was going to be a pain.
Oh, it was.
Turns out it was a pain. Santa said it ain't going to be that big a deal. I said, I don't know, because it's plastic. It's not like that cardboard.
Well, here's the thing about it. If it was the cardboard or even a thinner plastic, it wouldn't have been a deal.
This is good plastic.
Yeah, I've got a straight awl, and I cannot push it through to find the holes. I can push it through enough to start a screw. Once I get the screw in,
Right.
I take it back out, then get the awl
Yep.
and find the hole.
Yep. And then you took the radio out
Yes.
and went to replace it with the one that was given to us.
Yes.
And the new radio does not fit. Well, it fits.
It would fit, but the plugs are
Yep.
completely different.
The wiring is totally different, and that is what I was afraid of. I saw the back of this when it came in, and I said, I know my GMs, man. And this connector back here, this is off a newer, like 90s.
Yeah.
90s model. They use the small, like, micro connectors with the little pins.
Micro pins.
This is an 87. It's got the old school big. They're big honking plugs on the back of it. So unfortunately, and the antenna is going to be different on this one too. You see how tiny that is?
Actually, that would still work.
It's
I
the
believe.
same
I think
on the
so.
87. Well, either way, we tried. You spent quite a while pulling
Yeah.
that radio out. Wasn't the easiest.
It wasn't the easiest. There's a pin on the back side of it that would not let go.
Yeah.
And I had to sit back there, get underneath the dash and just, yeah.
But you got it out, and we found out that the radio doesn't fit, which is a shame because it's honestly a beautiful radio. I mean, this is an excellent factory unit, and I know it's easy to go aftermarket. I could have bought a CD player.
Oh, yeah.
Or I could have bought a DVD player. I could have bought anything and shoved it in that hole.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I wanted to keep that factory
Oh, yeah.
look, that old school GM Delco radio, you know? We'll figure it out. I'll probably just have to buy one.
I would look to see if there's an adapter from that plug to this one.
That's a great idea.
Because if you can
Yeah.
find an adapter, all you got to do is clip, and it's done.
Yeah, if we can find an adapter from a 90s to an 80s GM,
Yeah.
we could just plug and play. I bet somebody makes it.
Yeah.
I'll bet somebody. That's a great idea. Anyway, I have been working. You can see I got the heat gun. We got some zip ties. I got a drill, which I broke two. I broke actually one bit into three. One bit became three by the time I was done with it. But it's all put back together, and you would probably never know where I hate calling it an overdrive switch. It's really not overdrive. It's torque converter lockup.
Yeah.
It's an overdrive. I like to say it's an overdrive for your overdrive.
It's a direct drive.
Direct drive. There you go, one to one.
Yep.
Okay, well, take a look. You're not going to find any wires. And by the way, tell them I fused it.
He did.
I did. I didn't tell them that I didn't want to, but I chose to.
He griped about it the whole step of the way.
I did.
He did it.
I said, I do not. I just want to stick a pin into the fuse box and call it a day. Jump it off another fuse. I didn't. I ran it directly to the fuse block on an open ignition port, and I ran a 20 amp fuse in line the way it's supposed to be done. So I didn't cut corners on it. I'd love to. Where's the key? I'd love to turn it on so you can see. I don't have my key. There we go. All right. So ignition on. You guys see where the switch is? I guarantee you don't see it. Look around. You see it? That's because Santa told me to wire it into the rear defogger. A great idea, but we didn't do that. That is a brilliant idea, but my rear defogger does work. We actually wired it in right here. Check this out. So now I can switch it on and off if I want, like for cruising and stuff. In fact, for most scenarios, I might as well just leave it on.
Yeah.
It's only when I'm really going to be playing with it or hammering on it that I should probably leave it off. But I mean, either way, we could have wired it direct with no switch. Monster Transmission said that's perfectly fine.
Right.
But they said most people want to switch to cut it off for racing. So, there you go. Unless you're Cletus McFarland. He uses it as an extra gear.
He relies on his lockup.
So there we go. Got a little bit of cleanup to do. The only thing really left for the transmission is we already addressed the
Transmission's all done except for putting the pan back up.
Yes, we need to put the pan and a filter in. Unfortunately, nobody carries them out here, so I have to go to the city tomorrow and grab I'm going to grab a new filter and a rubber pan gasket. The only thing left is to run this giant wire that's coming out from under my hood down the trans tunnel. Actually, I don't know where we're going to run it, but we need to run it down. That's the point. It needs to go down, or where does this plug onto? I don't even remember. Does this plug onto the switch or no? No. There's a wire under there that's ready for it.
Yes.
Yes, we need to run it down. It goes into that pigtail that plugs into the side of the transmission. So we need to run this wire down to this side and simply splice it into the existing wire, cut off the excess, and we have lockup, guys. The car is so close. It is so close to being done. Monkey Wrench Mike is he's feeling very, very sick today. I hope he gets feeling better. I offered to take him home, but he insisted he was going to stay. So tightening up the alternator belt, it's a little on the floppy side. We're not going to tighten it up much. Not much. Just a smidge. And sponsor stickers. Adding sponsor stickers, vacuuming out the trunk, the interior of the car, and guys, I think that's just about a wrap. Got to replace the headlights, replace the tail lights, license plate lights, backup lights, third brake light. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is most of this is done now. All right, guys, we've come a long way. It's got almost all the lights replaced now. I just did all 4 of these headlights. Let me tell you, these were a bear. And now they all got to be adjusted. I had to adjust them just to get to the screws to get the headlights out. Major pain. These are Sylvania Silver Stars. So these are going to be a little bit brighter. I'll have to take it out probably tomorrow night and adjust the buckets to get them right where I want them. Santa tightened down the alternator belt. There's still a little bit of slack in it. See if I can get you down here where you can see. Hopefully that's, boy, that air conditioning belt's a little loose. I may go ahead and just tighten that up just a hair. But hopefully we don't end up bending a water pump next time I take it out and kind of smash on. I'll have to start out a little gentle with it. You just did the tail lights.
Tail lights, I'm about to get the tag lights. Of course, they put a Torx bit in them instead of a
One of the tag lights is out for sure. I cleaned out the trunk and threw a proper looking spare just in case, and I've got a jack sitting behind it along with the jack handle, so if we do have a flat, that'll be and then when I get back I'll throw it back there and I'll sell all of them. Got a flat tire here. I got a nail in this tire. We got to take it to get fixed. Santa put the interior together. He's got the I about fell. He's got the sun visors installed, so that's new. We've never had sun visors in here before. I found those on eBay. Those cost a pretty penny. I'm going to vacuum out this side. I already vacuumed out the other side. And then I think we're probably going to call it a night. I got to wipe this down. I got to take this, whatever this is, the bezel for the instrument cluster off. I got this one vent that I still need to change. I'll probably go ahead and knock that out real quick. Get that vent changed out so it's not flopping around, doesn't have cardboard in it. Get over here, vacuum out this side. The back seat is not installed. I'm not sure why. It's just kind of flopping around. So I'll get back there and I'll lock that back seat down, vacuum this stuff out. And I think that's going to be it for tonight. Obviously, we'll come back. Actually, we probably won't come back, guys. I'll probably come back when it's time to leave for Power Tour. This is probably going to be it. The car has been very reliable. Don't have a clue on fuel economy, but I know that it's going to be a lot better now that we have torque converter lockup and park. I can't tell you how great that is. Thank you.
Oh, you bet.
I mean, seriously, park. You take it for granted, don't you?
Yeah.
I think most people just take putting their car in park for granted. I don't anymore.
If most people knew exactly what that was that holds their car in park, they would all be using the emergency brake.
It's a pin smaller than my pinky. It's just a little pin that locks the transmission so that it can't move. Santa showed it to me. It's concerning. It's definitely concerning. Guys, let me get this instrument cluster off real quick, this bezel. Let me swap out that vent, and I'll vacuum this out, lock down that back seat, and then I think that's going to be a wrap. Oh, you know what? I want to put the sponsor stickers on the back window before we close out the video, because, of course, I got to give a shout-out to all my sponsors. Holley, of course, for their 3-inch Blackheart exhaust. Smedding Performance, no doubt for, well, you know, this 480 horsepower 383 stroker that they built just for me. Like, that was awesome. They made a video about it on their channel. It was really cool to watch them build this engine. Great people, great company to work with. Thank you to Smedding Performance. And of course, last but certainly not least, Monster Transmissions for sending me that $5,000 Stage 3 204R transmission for free. Honestly, this build would not have been possible without all of the sponsors, so thank you to all of them. And of course, Santa's Workshop has been here for the whole thing. He's been here since they dropped the pallet with the engine in it off right at the back door here.
Are you kidding? When the engine's involved, I'm here.
So if you guys don't know who he is, please, I beg you, go watch him, go subscribe to his channel. He has been invaluable to this channel over here from more than just the Monte Carlo. He's a great friend, and he's got a great channel. Go check him out. Monkey Wrench Mike, unfortunately, is not out here right now. He may not make Power Tour at this point. So we'll see. He is really sick, and it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. He came all the way from Tulsa down here. He was fine, and then he drank a Gatorade, and after that, he just he got sick.
Yeah.
And he's been in the house sick all night. So even though he's not here and you don't see him, let me tell you, Monkey Wrench Mike has come down here, and he has helped us with the Monte Carlo, a lot of it off camera. He's also a great friend of mine and a big help and another asset to the channel. So thank you to Monkey Wrench Mike. Even though he's sick, please go subscribe to his channel. Check out some of his videos. I'd appreciate it. He'd appreciate it. And I'll put links to both of these gentlemen, as well as my sponsors, down below this video. All right, now we're done.
Yes.
For tonight, anyway.
Hey, we got our list done today.
You know what's great? Power Tour is the day after tomorrow.
Yes.
What time? It's got to be pushing midnight. 11, after 11?
Actually, it is 15 till.
15 till 11?
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. So it's almost the day before. We're almost the day before Power Tour. And we're still here. You're covered in transmission fluid.
Oh.
I am too, but you can't see it. It looks like I didn't do any work. Honestly, I look like I didn't. Like, even my hands are clean. Even my fingernails are clean.
We won't look at that.
Well, we just got through doing the fun part.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing on some stickers from the sponsors.
That's
You want
the
to
easy part.
go take a look?
Sure.
And I'm I installed the last air conditioner vent just because, you know, you don't want your AC vents flopping around. And I vacuumed out the car. The car looks so good. I know it's a little dark, but, and this is to remind me, this is the flywheel inspection cover, and I keep forgetting to put it on. Since the pan has to be put on tomorrow anyway, there's no sense in putting that on right now. No. So Santa said, put it in your seat, and you won't forget it. And you're right, because I can't sit in the car.
Exactly.
So I could, but I think it'd be very uncomfortable.
Well, and here's probably what's going to happen. You're just going to come in, you're going to raise the car up, you're going to put the pan on, everything, drop it down, and go, well.
Yep. That's it. Well, guys, she is vacuumed out. Santa and I put the back seat in. We got it all vacuumed, all cleaned out. Everything is there. The new air conditioner vent, the last one with the chrome trim around it. I want to keep the factory radio, guys. That one's screwed. I'll probably just suck it up. Here's a good thing, though. There on eBay, there's a company that installs a Bluetooth device in those factory radios. They're the original radio, but they put a button for Bluetooth connectivity.
Yep.
They're like $350, $400.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to pay that for a good aftermarket stereo.
That's,
And what do you buy the aftermarket stereo for? Bluetooth.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And I can keep it factory. You know, change out the speakers, get some better speakers like the factory speakers, but not blown up because these are not great.
Oh.
They work, but they're not great. Put some factory speakers back in it, and there you go. The car is so, it's like this close to done until Santa said that I need to put a posi in it.
Yeah.
I was so close to being like, the car is finished, and Santa's like, no, you need a 12 bolt.
Yeah, but go find you a good used one.
Right.
Get you a heftier drive shaft made.
Yeah.
$300-400. And you could be launching this thing at the drag strip.
And see, that's the problem. I don't want to spend any more money. I've spent a fortune on this car. But now you've got me really thinking that I might want to put a rear end under this thing.
Well, put a rear end under it. After you get the rear end under it, take it to the drag strip. I'll drive this. You drive the Viper. We'll see which one wins.
Oh, please. I'm going to stomp the Viper.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm totally BSing. This car couldn't touch a Viper. Right now, my 0 to 60, because I have no traction. None. One wheel peel, no traction. Even when you roll out and then you get on it, it doesn't matter how fast you're going. When it drops that gear, that back wheel just starts a spinning.
Well, see, that's why you need the posi.
Yes, and better tires.
You need better tires.
Yeah.
Something with some grip.
Yes.
And I guarantee you put traction under this thing.
Oh, she'll go.
I really think it will, because, you know, the Viper, you're shifting.
Yep.
You miss one shift.
Yep.
This sucker's going to pass you.
That's true.
You spin one time.
Yep.
This sucker's going to pass you.
And the Viper has no traction control.
No.
There's no computer nanny, so it's all up to you to figure out how to drive it. Sure. The good thing, though, is the Viper has Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and they're like $345. They're wide.
Well, those Mickey Thompsons you gave me.
Yeah. Yeah, those.
I guarantee you, those are just
those are
wide.
sticky. Yeah, those are big tires. See, these are just driver tires. These are like cruising tires. We'll see, though. And the thing is, it also depends on the amount of views I get. You know, the views kind of just fell off on it. And I've got so much money this, I'll never make the money back in YouTube content.
No.
You know, so we'll see. If everybody starts watching, they want to see it, and they want us to go a little bit further with it, then we can. We've got Hooker Blackheart. They sponsored the exhaust, obviously. Now, there's some other ones here, like EatMyShift.com. This is Monster Transmission, obviously. We've got Holly on the back here. You close this trunk lid just a little bit. Holly, obviously. We got Cold Case, which is the radiator. We got Burn Rubber Brewing Company. I actually we both love their stickers.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the fluid that is currently in the transmission. And I've got a few more quarts of it over there as well. We've obviously got Smitting Performance, who sponsored the engine. Amsoil, well, they honestly didn't sponsor anything. But I needed to fill this with another sticker. Right. So there you go. Monster Transmissions, of course. We've got Thor, which is the torque converter. Then the same thing over here. Bilstein, Eat My Shift, and Hooker Blackheart. So
Did you hit Cold Case?
I did hit Cold Case, yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. You know what? Some people fill their windows with stickers and stuff, and that's fine. But I think it looks too busy.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on, not to mention, like you mentioned earlier, you know, a cop can stop you and say, hey, your window is obscured, your view is obscured by all the stickers. This way we've got plenty of open space. The only thing that I plan on putting up there and on the front window is going to be Hot Rod Power Tour 2024.
Right.
That's it. That'll be the last things to go on the car. The cold case, even though it looks like it's probably where the third brake light is, it's not. The third brake light is actually, Santa will hit the brake here. You can see it. Bingo. Perfect. I think it looks good. It's not overdone. It's not too busy. The most important things that are on the car are on the back window. And then under here I've got my, just so that people can see the channel. There's that. Unfortunately, Monkey Wrench Mike doesn't have any stickers. You don't have any stickers. I don't have any stickers either. None of us, we all worked on, none of us have anything. Otherwise, I'd be putting our stickers, we'd find some room. I do have one that we were thinking about putting back there, but take up the whole back window.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that. And plus, that to me, it's kind of tacky. Yeah. To each their own, but a big, ginormous sticker with your channel across the back.
We can put it right here.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. You notice I put all the stickers on the glass.
Yes.
That's because I will probably peel them off at some point. And this paint job, no way.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing, especially since it hasn't even fully cured or anything yet.
The only stickers that belong on the paint job are what come on it from a factory.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see a dealership sticker.
I didn't even know that this had a Chevy emblem here.
Yeah.
From the factory. I didn't know that. When I saw the car, I was like, where did that come from? He's like, that's part of your factory kit. I was like, really? Because that was not there. How cool. All right. I think I'm nervous.
Why?
I don't know. I can't explain it. I wasn't this nervous when I did Power Tour in the Chevelle. But I didn't have nearly as much into the Chevelle.
Right.
I got a lot into this. Not just money, but time, parts, sponsors. Like if anything goes wrong, this can reflect badly on the sponsors. It reflects badly on me. And it's nerve-wracking to have all of that pressure from one car hanging over your head. This car needs to do Power Tour. It needs to not break.
Well, here's the deal. Sponsors are going to back you.
Yeah.
If something happens to that motor, you think Spedding's going to say, well, sorry.
No. I just don't want that to happen,
well, Things happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it all depends upon how they react to what happens.
Yeah. Like with Monster.
Yeah.
They were quick to get back to me, They were like, hey, they sent me a picture. They said it was probably this, and I was like, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not a transmission guy, so I don't even know. I knew about the parking pawl. Right. I knew there was a rod. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, and I sure as hell don't know where it's supposed to go. So I said, hey, can you guys maybe shoot me a picture? They went out to the shop, and I had a lot of people tell me that they don't build their own transmissions, that they outsource them, and this just occurred to me. They sent me a picture of one of their transmissions with their guy. They tore apart a 700 R4, which is similar to the 200. They tore the bottom off of it and pointed arrows, like this here and here, showing me what I needed to look for.
Right.
So, yes, it was a mistake, but I'm not mad.
Well, I mean, it was an easy fix. It was not.
Yeah, it was super easy.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad. You know what I'm most mad about? I didn't fix it sooner. Seriously, you know how long I haven't had park, and do you know how many people, I've taken this car to so many places. When I took it to Mako, I told them, I said, hey, listen, you have to tell everybody this car has no park. The guy comes in, he runs, he's like, man, that car is sick when he hands it over to me. He's like, I love your car, man, that car is sick. And I was like, that's great, thank you. I said, please tell me you set the emergency brake. He ran. He didn't even say another word. He said, I forgot. Ran out the door. Came back, he's like, I forgot. He's like, man, I'm glad you said something. I'm like, yes, because it will roll away.
Yeah.
Same thing when I took it to the Los Primos Auto Glass. I told them, I said, make sure everybody knows it's got no park. Same deal. The guy brings it out, parks it, and it's on a slight incline too. How it didn't roll, I have no idea. But I came out there, and he's like, man, great car, love your car. And I shook his hand. I said, thank you. You guys did a great job. And I get in, and I realize the e-brake is not on. How it didn't roll? I don't know. So park is a big deal because too many people forget.
Yes.
How you forget when someone tells you the car does not have park and you must use the e-brake, I don't know. But people forget.
Well, and if they saw exactly what park is in a transmission, everybody would use the e-brake.
That little pin Little itty bitty.
There's one tooth
Yeah.
that fits into a gear, and it is held in by a pin the size of a pencil lead.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. And you know what happens if you're going down the road too fast and you throw it in park?
That shears off.
It can either shear off, or have you ever heard it go grinding on that gear?
Yeah.
That happened to my C4 Corvette, the Swamp Vet.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy was rolling, flying backwards off the trailer. He goes in the middle of the road, no brakes. He didn't check the brakes. He throws it in park while it's flying backwards, and you can hear that transmission just going.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah, I said, well, there it went the parking gear. It still worked. I wouldn't trust it too much, but it still worked.
Wow.
Well, anyway, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. We did go in and we checked on Monkey Wrench Mike, and he's sleeping. And let me tell you, to be sleeping in that house, you got to be feeling sick. You know what I mean? To be passed out cold in that house, you got to be feeling sick. Because I get nervous just going in there to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? New headlights. They're crystal clear now. I love the look of the headlights. They look so much better. The old ones were all fogged up. They're all out of adjustment though. So what I'm gonna have to do is tomorrow night, before I pack it up and leave. What? Shut up, Siri. Before I pack up to leave tomorrow night, I'll have to get it out on the road, adjust the dims by themselves until I'm satisfied with them, and then I'll adjust the brights afterwards and get it all figured out. Then I gotta spray down the engine just real quick. It's got a lot of sanding dust or cutting dust and compound and stuff from the paint job and everything. It looks pretty rough under here. I can't have it out at Power Tour looking like that.
No.
So we're gonna clean it up, and then that's it, guys. This will probably, in fact, not probably, this is the last video. Last video of this car before Power Tour, and one more time, even if you guys are tired of hearing me say it, I got to give a big shout out and thank you again to Smitting Performance. They built me a hell of an engine, man. She's a talker, man.
Yes, she is.
That engine. I know it's not like, there's plenty other engines, but way more horsepower and torque. You know, it's not like it's the baddest of all cars out there. But damn, for this Monte Carlo to go from 180 horsepower to 480,
yeah,
there's a lot more car here now, but it's still manageable. Fun. I don't know how fuel efficient it is, but
just driving down the highway is just smooth as glass.
Yeah, you really wouldn't know when you're cruising that this car has got so much going on under the hood.
Yeah, I mean, it's got, exhaust noise, but it does not kill your ears.
Right.
I mean, you can hear it talk, but when you get down on it, it's like a completely different beast.
To me, it reminds me of a NASCAR. When you smash on it, when you open up that carburetor, suddenly it goes from moderately loud to just blah. I mean, it gets looks, man. Smitting Performance, thank you. Seriously, this is one of the greatest sponsorships I've ever had, in conjunction with Monster Transmissions. Again, just another one of these great sponsors, and I'm so happy that you guys chose to work with me. Holly Performance as well, obviously, their Black Heart exhaust. We had a few issues with that. No big deal. Again, we ended up with headers that didn't quite fit.
Right.
So you brought over your headers, and they fit just fine with a little bit of modification. They fit just fine. And the rest of the exhaust is still the Holley Blackheart Hooker, whatever you want to call it, exhaust. And it sounds amazing. Transmission, had a few problems with it. Nothing major. Transmission is now amazing.
Well, I mean...
Engine, we've never had never a single issue from the motor.
Well, water pump.
Yeah, but that wasn't the motor. That wasn't the motor. That was me. That was me tightening those damn belts too tight.
Now, didn't we have a little bit of leakage around the oil pan, and we had to tighten up the...
Yeah, I do think we did have to tighten up the oil pan a little bit.
Things like that, that is what happens when you build something.
Yes.
You can't get away from it.
No. There's too many moving parts, too many hands on things. It's one of those things. Yeah. At the end of the day, the car came out beautiful. Mako was not a sponsor, but and that's too bad. I really tried. Yeah. I got a hold of their corporate office. Unfortunately, it's not up to the local office. It's a corporate deal. I reached out to them. I've actually reached out to them many times on different projects. there's been, I'm not going to get into too much, but there was a time where they agreed that I shouldn't say they agreed. They agreed that we were going to discuss a sponsorship. And they drug it out for like 2 months. And I had to get it done. And I was like, hey, time is up. I've got to know if we're doing this or not. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, no, we're not interested. And when I sent them the info on this car, I said, hey, you guys want to do a sponsor deal, even just a discount on the paint job, whatever? They came back pretty quick. They're like, no, we're not interested. And it's like, man, all the business that I promote, that's a shame. I was really hoping we could work together. But with that said, I'm not sour about it. It sucks. I think it would have been a great sponsorship. But I paid full price for it. I still got it done. And I'm going to tell you this. I cannot recommend Mako as a paint shop nationwide. Okay, I don't have that kind of experience.
Right.
All I can tell you is I can promote, and I put my name on it, the local one on I-240. You go talk to Paul over there at Mako. He does not get by these. I don't get a discount for saying it either. They don't give me anything.
Right.
It's not sponsored. All I can tell you is they do. Would you look at this paint? They do. Look. You can see there is some orange peel. You can see the light up there. You know, I can't get in on it too much. There is some orange peel, but nothing crazy. Yeah. If you take this to the auto spa, you could take this car to any guy that details. And I guarantee you they'll have this thing smooth as glass.
We'll do a cut and buff on it, and it'll come out just...
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, for what I paid for, this is an amazing paint job. And the truth is, they'll do a lot of paint jobs, the single stage. They'll do those for $500, man. It's $500-600.
Right.
Whole car. Now, that's not a color change or any of that extra stuff, you know what I mean? But I put my name on the line for the Mako here in Oklahoma City. Can't really say much for the rest of them, but you go talk to Paul in Oklahoma City, tell him Randy from Auto Auction Rebuild sent you. I promise you, Paul will take care of you, and when you get your car, you will be happy with it. And the paint job doesn't fall off after a year, guys. All right, that's the way it used to be when it was. Who was it before?
Earl Scheib.
Scheib.
SCHIB.
We'll paint anything for $99.
$99.95. That was one of the first places I went and applied to after I got out of body school.
Oh, poor you.
That tells you how old I am.
Wow.
As they're showing me the place, they're putting aluminum tape on the rusty quarter panel of a 57 Chevy.
Oh.
I turned around and walked out the door.
And then just painting over it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds. Yeah. That's. Yeah. Ooh. See, people still think those are the same company, and it's not. In fact, the Mako on I-240 just got bought out recently by another company. Yeah, they're owned by somebody else now. It's still Mako, but somebody else bought them out. Paul was telling me about that. And Lucky's Wheels and Deals, he uses them all. He gets everything painted. His uncle, his whole family uses Mako. So, and they're always promoting them as well. Not because we get anything for it. It's just, if you find somebody that does good work, you need to share that with people, you know, sponsored or not. Like, you need to share that so that people know. Paul told me people have come from several different states out here with their car. They have brought him because of Mako in California. I've had people tell me for a basic paint job, I want $2,500-$2,800.
Woo!
You can come out here and get it done for $500.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Vacation time.
It's where it'll be done in a week, you know? Anyway, guys, I just one more shout out to all the sponsors, obviously, and Santa's Workshop for being here through every bit of it. Monkey Wrench Mike's been here for he's been here for a bit of it, but you got to remember he lives in Tulsa.
Right, that's 2 hours away.
Yeah, 2.5 hours away from here. It's not like he can just jump down here whenever and come work on this. You're 15 minutes down the road. 10. Well, the way you drive, 10.
No, 5 the way I drive.
Anyway, guys, big shout out to Monkey Wrench Mike and Santa's Workshop. I will put links to both of these gentlemen below. Obviously, links to the sponsors, the build of this car. And all I can say is stay tuned for videos from Power Tour.
Oh.
I think it's going to be fun. I hope that it's relatively uneventful and things go smooth. And then we're going to Terre Haute. It ends in Indianapolis. It goes from where is it?
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Bowling Green, Kentucky, the Corvette Museum. Then it goes to some speedway out there the next day.
Right.
And then it goes up north somewhere, I think, or maybe it goes to Nashville. I think it goes to Nashville.
Okay.
Then it goes north.
You said something about Ohio.
It is. There's a Akron, Ohio, I think, is one of the stops.
Okay.
And we got another stop in Indianapolis. So it goes over, up, down to Indianapolis, and then I come home. So I'm probably going to hang out in Terre Haute for a day or two, and hope my car doesn't get stolen.
Oh.
Yeah, I got GPS on this bad boy, and you can bet when I park it for the night, I'm going to disconnect something. Something's getting disconnected. That's a promise. All right, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.